Okay, as the final primary results are being tallied, we're going to get some insight from the one and only political analyst, Len Bergstein. You were here late last night until about 11. He's back up with us this morning, so thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here. It's pretty exciting. These uncounted ballots really turned out to be the big actor in this.
Where did you sleep in the building?
Underneath a pile of
in his own bed.
Underneath a pile of ballots.
Okay, so we're going to start with the governor's race, because this contest shaping up to be a three-way race between Tina Kotek, Betsy Johnson, and presumably Christine Drazan. What should voters know? What can they expect?
Three big personalities in this race. Okay, with new leadership, obviously the current governor is unable to term out, so there was going to be a change, and voters seem to want to pick someone they knew. They were rewarded Kotek's accomplishments. She was able to campaign very well on this is what I've done, so Democratic voters wanted that. Republican voters seem to want the more moderate Drazan over the loudest voices. They had some very extreme and loud primary contestants. She seems to have risen to the top there. And then, of course, we've got Betsy Johnson, who's unique, and this three-way race will be very unique. People will get a big chance to have a choice. I think these will be very different people. And I think the other thing that people ought to be concerned about is it won't just be the candidates talking to them. There'll be these political action committees, these really kind of like moneyed interests that come in and want to influence the race, defining the candidates in ways that maybe they don't like to see themselves defined.
Right, it should be interesting, right? Assuming it is Drazan, Kotek, and Johnson, head-to-head, three women going at it for that governor seat. But let's talk about city council here in Portland, because that is an interesting one, especially the seat that is currently occupied by Joanne Hardesty.
Right. So as you know, and your viewers know, one incumbent won. That was Dan Ryan. Won a very easy race. One incumbent was really on the griddle, and I think I went into the race thinking, gee, she's going to be lucky if she gets into the runoff. But she winds up leading, not decisively. She didn't get 50%. So the drama is all about who her opponent is going to be. She's challenged by two people who are moderate and to the right of where she is, but clearly Joanne Hardesty made a very good case. We talked about this earlier in the campaign. She was at 18% in January, February. People wanted to vote for somebody else. She was able to break through the clutter and say, here's my accomplishments. Portland Street response, here's what I've done in police reform, here's what I've done on clean energy things. And voters said, yeah, we're going to reward that kind of leadership, even though we may be a little bit frustrated with City Hall.
All right, and I just have to ask you real quick, because off the top we mentioned the ballot mess in Clackamas County. They're counting by hand at this point. How big of an impact is this going to have on the statewide races?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, this is really huge. You know, we've got 10% of the vote overall is in that county, probably 50% of the votes that have yet to be counted in that 5th congressional district. I mean, we're still on, the drama is still there. Nobody knows really what's going to happen there, because Clackamas County, I think, last night we were saying that Marion County was slowing in their returns too. So voters won't know who their candidates are in the 5th congressional district probably for the next couple of days.
All right, that's good to know. Len Bergstein, our political analyst, thank you for being here.
Yeah, great to be here.